Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna throw a twist in this.
Let's do it.
You have some of my dogs.
Uh-huh.
If it was something that you could say, I wish they had more of or less of, what would one thing be?
Well, let me see. They good dogs, right? I can't say I would want them to have less. So I tell you what, for instance, Zeta, she ain't the friendliest mother, you know.
Right?
But that she doing what she's supposed to do,
Right.
and like I just like I know I take her out. I don't take her out around everybody. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I know she's not gonna harm kids, but I know she's very suspicious of strangers, and she's never bit anybody. But I know like she has this attitude where I got my eye on you. I know you ain't supposed to be here.
Right.
So I have to be careful with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't let everybody handle her.
Gotcha.
So,
Two things you just said.
Yeah.
You described what a Corso is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Discernment for a stranger.
Right.
And two, you take the steps of being a responsible owner.
Right.
Those are the things that and there's a reason why I asked you that question, because I ask everybody that question that ends up with my dogs, because this is the dialect that most breeders don't have.
Right.
They're not able to take constructive criticism of
That was
what
a
they
bold
do.
ass question.
And I put myself out there.
Sure the hell did, yeah.
So, but then in your answer, I can come back and show you the good things about what you said.
Right.
Is it makes me feel good, because that is what a Corso is supposed to be in my eyes. A Corso is supposed to be very suspicious of a stranger. Why? Especially in your case, because you have children and you have a wife that is at home sometimes without you being there.
Right.
So the little white van with the little strange man ain't gonna pull up in your yard and take your child out your yard, you know. And then we got a shirt on and looking for him and that kind of stuff. But two, I sent my dog to the person that they needed to send to, because responsibly, you have spent time with that dog. You watch the characteristics of that dog. You watch the demeanor that she has. And you take the responsible steps to protect not only the dog, but the public at the same time.
And that's the thing you got to learn. A lot of us still, I'm 45 years old, I still have a problem saying no. Right. I still have a problem. I know when I walk her, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got, man.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. But in my back of my mind, I'm thinking about, here's a vicious dog. But I got to be okay with that. Because she ain't got no bites, but I know, look.
She'll protect you if she needs.
Well, yeah, I remember like we was at a soccer game and I kind of walked off. My wife and my son was sitting down. All these kids was walking up, petting her up, blue. This one man came and she wasn't having it.
Yeah.
She wasn't having it. So you just got to know that stuff about your dogs. You know?
Yeah, she can cipher between what's a threat and what's not a threat, because those kids are supposed to never be a threat. I think me and you have talked about that.
Right.
You take my kennel, you can send any kid on earth in there and they can put their hands in every kennel.
All right, so since we out in the open about that,
okay.
So I normally breed, when I breed the dogs, I go right back in the family.
Right.
I'm not big on crossing too much, but the type of dog I would take her with, what would you suggest? Something like her or something just a little bit, being that she is fiery,
I wouldn't, I'm never into diluting.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we got to look at the breed that we have.
That's true.
Now, if you was breeding a Shih Tzu, maybe you would take her to a male that didn't quite have what she had in her.
Right.
At the end of the day, when we place a dog in the home, we're supposed to evaluate those puppies prior to placing them in the home.
Right.
That's why you don't find on my page, I got 1-week-old puppies taking deposits. Because if Joe Church is buying a dog from me, and I know you have 2 children, and you have a family, and you live in a neighborhood, and you want a dog that's a family member and a companion for your family, I don't need to sell you a working dog. with just because it's the color that you want.
Right.
So no, I'm never going to take the steps to dilute what are truly in my lines, because how do I get them back?
Yeah.
What it might take me 4 generations to get it back.
Right.
So no, I'm going to make sure I place the right dogs in the right home. I'm going to encourage everybody to make sure they're doing their part like you are. If that dog, it deserves to get training. What do you mean it deserves to get training? I don't know a kid that you have in your household that you haven't raised. You haven't potty trained. You hadn't taught how to use a fork, a spoon.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. You put the training into that dog the same way you would any other family member. And that's what that dog becomes, as a family member.
Right.
You know? So those are things that I look at when it comes to the breeding side of things. It's the placement of the right pup, not the right color or the biggest one. I want the biggest boy you got.
Right.
No,
Right.
not necessarily.
Yeah.